So why are your chickens losing feathers is a question I keep getting asked. You probably asked, and a lot of people around you have asked, and there are so many answers to this extremely difficult question that it takes a lot of knowledge to be able to answer it. Actually, it doesn't. It just takes a lot of time and persistence to answer it. But in this video, I'm going to be providing you every single reason why your chickens are losing their feathers right now. Most definitely the most common one is molting. Just look at my chicken Loudmouth right there. Look at how she's losing a lot of her feathers. Look at some of my other chickens as well, losing all their feathers. And you might notice when they're molting as well, they don't really look as good as they used to. Like, they have darker feathers, they look smaller, but they still eat just as much as they did previously. And unfortunately, there's not really a good way to stop them from molting. It's just something that chickens naturally end up having to do in their life. Now, typically, we'll notice a decrease in eggs with this scenario, especially if you go into the coop right now, you look, there's no eggs. You're like, what? Hey, what's going on, Chicka? What you doing up there? You notice there's no eggs, right? That is mostly because, well, we probably had eggs earlier today, but also maybe because some of the chickens in here are molting or losing their feathers. Or, of course, the next best answer is stress, although it's significantly less common. And the next couple I'll talk about are actually more common than this one. Chickens will occasionally lose feathers under stress. It is something that will happen, although it's a little bit perplexing. It can be answered sometimes, but I've never had an instance with that. Now, if you have a rooster, this is actually more common than molting. It's the rooster himself. By the way, this rooster right here, I'm thinking about getting him a new home. If anyone may be interested, be sure to tell me in the comments below. And maybe, I'm not saying anything yet, but possibly. Because he is not the greatest rooster. He doesn't do his job. He rather wants to mate with all the chickens, which, if you don't know, over time, that'll like erode at their feather count. So you'll notice there's a lot of feathers missing on the back. And when this happens, the chickens are basically forced into a molting phase. That'll cause feathers to be spewing everywhere. Look under here. Sometimes you might even think that a chicken died if there's that many feathers under there. Not this time. It's my rooster being a complete and utter moron. And finally, we got the dreaded answer. Predators. More specifically, not the ones you think of. When you think of a chicken predator, what one comes to mind? Maybe a fox, a red-tailed hawk, an eagle, maybe even a coyote or a wolf or bear. Nope. What I'm talking about are mice and rats. Yep. Those things love residing in people's homes for some odd reason. They will actually get into your chicken coop sometimes, and they will occasionally eat away at their feathers. And also, mites, neither of them are really predators, but they can and will terrorize chickens, maybe even lead to some substantial feather loss. Fortunately, the mites that chickens deal with aren't that harmful, but they are all over the eggs. They are pretty annoying. So what we do is we spray them with a special treatment for mites. And as far as mice, mouse traps will do. For the most part, you'll notice the mice won't really reside on the floors. It's such an obvious spot. Mice prefer residing, maybe even rats as well. They all prefer to reside in a not so obvious area. So probably up at the rafters, probably up here as well. That's where I typically put the phone for the live chicken cameras. That is typically where you will be seeing the mice and rats just chilling up there. I hope you enjoyed this time on this video. I hope you found it helpful as well. If there's more tips, be sure to leave them in the comments below so that way other people, if they're looking for answers and didn't find them on this video, might find them in the comments below. Anyways, be sure to click the video on the screen. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'm out. Subscribe.